Good morning. It is Saturday. It is just after 10. It is Josh Widdicombe. That is basically how we do things. I'm trying to be factual this morning. There's going to be a level of professionalism that's unheralded on this show. How do you feel about that?
Comfortable.
Comfortable. You've always been pushing for this.
I've been trying, but I didn't want to say anything.
Fair enough. So how are you?
Oh, I'm not too bad, thank you very much.
There you go. Professional as always. Just I ask the question, you give the answer, we move on. That is how the show works. I went to Berlin over the Easter break. Have you been?
I went on a school trip to Berlin, when I was in secondary school.
Yeah, that's quite a cool school trip. We went to York, which I suppose is good.
Yeah, York's lovely.
It's got the National Railway Museum. It's got the Jorvik Viking Centre, which has got the smell of the Vikings.
What does that smell like?
Bad, but I felt it was unprovable.
I mean, I'm a bit sceptical when they kind of...
You're sceptical about history anyway, aren't you, generally?
Generally, yeah. When they trot stuff out as fact, it's like, is it fact?
Like what? Dinosaurs?
No, dinosaurs are fact.
Are they?
But even then, it's kind of like, this dinosaur had feathers and stuff like that. Well, how do you know?
That no dinosaur had feathers.
So apparently some did.
No.
Yeah, big birdie dinosaurs had feathers.
No, I'm not buying that. Yeah, the highlight of Berlin for me was, I think we've done before on the show, overheard snippets of conversation. I'll throw this to you. What do you think set up this sentence? I also like beans and rice. What is the scenario?
Apart from Wurst, what else do you eat?
No one's having that conversation with an adult.
I don't know.
It's the kind of thing you'd say to a 7-year-old would say.
Unless it was a German hip-hop group that she was into.
What, beans and rice?
Do you like Eminem? I also like beans and rice.
What, you think there's a hip-hop group, beans and rice?
Yeah, in Germany.
And are they two different people, like crisscross? One's called beans and one's called rice.
Yeah.
Difficult, isn't it? You're a beans or a rice man. Well, rice is the serious one, and then beans is Flavour Flav. Due to the fact it's got more flavour. You can't mess around with beans. Although beans has come first. Oh, it's difficult, isn't it? Maybe we should start this group. Maybe we should spread a rumour that they exist, and then we'll just come off songs. But we'll say what song it was. But then we'll go before that. It was beans and rice with das champignon or whatever. I think that's French for mushroom.
Yes, I think it is. It was Autobahn. Beans and rice.
Well, that's a Kraftwerk song, isn't it?
Well, they did a hip-hop cover.
You what?
I imagine they sampled Kraftwerk
they would have sampled
for a beat.
Yeah.
And then rapped over the top of it.
What I like is that despite being a German hip-hop duo, they've gone with the English pronunciation of beans and rice.
It's very true.
But that's probably because it's kind of a reference to hip-hop's birth in New York. Have we gone too far into this?
I think we might have done.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
That was Das Kooks on XFM and down. This is Josh Widdicombe on a Saturday morning with producer Neil. And now we come to any other business. The right of reply for the audience at home. If you've heard us make a mistake, want to pick us up on anything minor, just want to hear your name said on the radio, this is kind of the place. And Neil will uphold or reject each. Normally with a bell. We haven't got a bell, have we, Neil?
We have got a bell.
We have got a bell. We found the bell.
We've got bells.
We've got bells. What's happened?
I had a package delivered from Bell Percussion Limited, who we'll talk about more later.
This is exciting. Of course we will.
So I've got 8 bells.
Have you?
They're different tuning.
I'll go for a middle C, please.
Just do the first one. I'll try and find it.
Wait. Just ring one and I'll be able to locate middle C by telling you how near it would be to it. That is a middle C.
That is a middle C.
Wasn't that amazing?
All right, then.
I mean, I was guessing. Right.
Okay.
Hello, Josh. In episode 57 of your radio show, I like the way people are counting. It says on the podcast, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's not just that they were like...
And even that's not accurate because the first podcast is the 3 shows combined.
Oh. I mean, but anyway. In episode 57 of your radio show, you were gloating about your visit to Aberdeen. Too right, I bloody was. Amongst the gloats, you talked about it being the second richest city in Britain after London. You then mumbled something about house prices. What I like about that is they're picking me up on my projection. Yeah. Steve Wright would never get a letter in saying he'd mumbled. He's never made a mistake. In fact...
Sorry.
You've upheld that point about Steve Wright by mistake. In fact, Aberdeen is the wealthiest city in Britain based on the number of billionaires and the number of 4x4s owned. Got to stop Connor there, because I don't think that's how you judge the wealthiest city in Britain, how many 4x4s are owned.
I don't think the Times have done a list on that.
No, you don't do the rich list. I'm sure this is an innocent mistake, but please don't be so flippant about such a big matter. Love the show. Listen via the podcast at Inverness Connor. Feelings, Neil?
Again, I don't want to not use the bell, but like you say, there are a few. But I'm going to reject this.
You're going to reject it?
Yeah, sorry, Connor.
No worries. Why are you rejecting it? You've got to give reasons.
Because I don't feel his model of judging the wealthy city in Britain is accurate.
No. If Connor wants to come back to us with more, more grounded facts, then
Yes.
fine. But billionaires and 4x4s. It's going to be the name of my autobiography. Dear Josh and producer Neil, after all the hard work and effort your dad, in brackets Josh, close brackets, put into creating the new, open brackets, and magnificent, close brackets jingle, I mean, you didn't need the and magnificent in brackets there. I'm going to pick him up on that. Will you uphold or reject my point?
It's Karina. It's her choice and way of writing.
All right. You're very harsh today. It's a new tough regime now. You've got 8 bells.
Professionalism, mate.
After all the hard work and effort your dad, Josh, put into creating the new open brackets and magnificent close brackets jingle, I was disappointed that after your promise to play it once a show, I did not hear it on last week's podcast. Quite pernickety, but you did promise. Yours pedantically, Karina. She signs off perfectly. Yours pedantically. That's what we want.
Going to uphold.
Correct. Do you press a button?
That's one way you can do it.
Wow. Finally, a tweet I got a few weeks ago that I forgot to read out, that I feel I should, from someone called Josh. I was going to say ironically, it's not ironic. Alanis Morissette's not writing the script. There's not a script. Following on from my tweet about being mugged by a llama, it was at a local farm.
Okay, good. That's good follow-up knowledge.
There you go. If we ask for follow-up and then don't read out when they do give us the information, I feel it's rude. So there we go. If you have any other business, pick us up on anything. If that isn't a middle C, if Neil needs to tune his bell, email us via the website, josh@xfm.co.uk. You don't even need to do it via the website. You've got the email address.
Exactly.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Let's talk about the topics we want to talk about this week. They both come from the David Baddiel we've got coming in after 11. Both come from his show, Fame Not the Musical, which I was on after him in Edinburgh. So I don't want to make a claim, but I think I've seen the last 10 minutes of that show more than any other person in Britain, which is very big claim to make, but there you go. So, number 1, strange hobby your parents have / had. This is based on David Baddiel does a bit about his mum's her obsession with golf and writing poetry about golf. And so, I mean, we've all had parents with embarrassing hobbies. Do you want to go first or second on this, Neil? We'll go head to head.
No, you go first. It's your name above the door.
Oh, thank you very much. My dad's brief foray into pigeon racing.
What? Okay, go on. Well, for a start, why isn't your dad corresponds with the show quite a lot? If he doesn't send a message on a pigeon one week, I'm going to be very disappointed.
We have got correspondence from my dad. We forgot to do it in any other business.
Oh, okay.
So we'll do it. We'll do it later in. We'll do it. Tell you what, we'll do it later in the show when we play his jingle.
Yes.
I know exact place to do it. In fact, now he was into pigeon racing. I think I'll tell this story from the start. Have you got some sad, meaningful music?
No, I'm just going to grab a chair.
You grab a chair.
Settle down for this.
Have you not got some kind of meaningful music? Thank you for it. So he found an injured pigeon and nursed it back to health. Then got into looking after the pigeon. One thing led to another. He owned a load of pigeons. You have to train them by going a bit away from the loft and then flying them back and then going a bit further. Before you know it, they can fly back from Antwerp. That's how it works.
That's amazing.
But we had a very big tree in our garden, so they'd fly all the way back, and then when they arrive, you've got to take the thing off their foot and put it in, and then it times what time they arrived.
Yeah.
But what we'd do, they'd fly all the way back from Antwerp, and they just land in the tree and stay there for 2 or 3 hours to the frustration of my dad, while he shook pigeon food in an attempt to lure them down from the tree. But then a big storm struck and knocked the tree over, and suddenly got really good at pigeon racing, and results went up. But sadly, he developed an allergy to pigeons. Yeah, you never knew that, did you?
No,
Beat that.
Well, my dad has beehives at the bottom of our garden.
Wow.
So,
That's a very different type of racing.
do you want the full story?
Yeah.
He found an injured bee.
No. He found an injured bee.
And then one bee led to another.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, before you know it, he's got 30,000 at the bottom of the
from A to
garden.
B. Oh, yeah, very good. Very good. So do you have honey?
Obviously
Has he got one of those suits?
Yeah.
So can you not go down to the bottom of the garden for fear of getting stung?
You have to be careful, but the way he's designed the aviary, as they call it, apiary is what it's called, means that rather than flying directly up the garden, when they come out the hive, are forced to kind of go upwards and then spread out.
My uncle makes honey, Widdicombe's Cornish honey.
What?
Yeah. I can bring some in next week and you can try it. It's very good.
We'll have a taste off. I'll get
We'll
my
have a
dad.
taste. Yes! Honey taste off on XFM. This is the reason the wireless was invented. So that's topic 1. Topic 2, I shared a changing room with David Baddiel in Edinburgh for a month. Strangest place you've got changed. Do you know what? If someone said sum up the kind of topic that you discuss on your radio show, I'd say strangest place you got changed, or the classic weirdest thing you've heard over a tannoy, which we'll bring back one week because I do think we should do a greatest hits week. Maybe when we do, are we allowed to talk about the fact we're doing Edinburgh?
It's pretty much done, isn't it? Yeah.
We're probably going to do this live in Edinburgh for a week, for 4 days. One of the we'll do best of topics. But this week, strangest hobby your parents had, strangest place you got changed. This is XFM.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
2 topics we're discussing on the Josh Widdicombe show this morning with producer Neil. Do you think at some point the show the title will get changed to the Josh Widdicombe with producer Neil show?
I hope not, because I don't want that, and also it's very unwieldy as a tagline.
Well, I think I'd already written an email to the bods up top.
I know my level, mate, don't worry.
You know your levels on mics. It's your job.
Topics.
Okay. 2 topics. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's how you like to hear the topics, Neil, so you can check the levels. Okay. Do you want first getting changed or weird hobbies your parents are into?
Let's do weird hobbies, parents.
We're going to go with Annalise Holcomb. Good name, strong name. My mum decorates the house with antique chairs that you cannot use. Now that's an interesting scenario.
Yeah.
Presumably they're kind of, you can't use them because they're too. I don't know whether there's a no use rule completely, like whether you'd be allowed to put clothes on them.
No, because again the buttons or zips could scratch the polish.
Because this could be a thing for another week. Strange collections.
That's next week.
That's next week. This week we're doing a strangest place you got changed. Do you want one of them?
Yes, please.
This is from someone called Got It Covered, which is probably quite a good name to have if you're talking about getting changed. Terrible. Terrible bit of radio. Really poor. That's the mumbling I've just done that they talked about when I did the Aberdeen house prices. It's very expensive houses in Aberdeen. Just don't know what the problem is. I got changed in the sidecar of a motorbike driving through the Blackwall Tunnel from bike leathers to a football kit. That is impressive.
That's very good.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Also slightly illegal, is it not?
I don't know if you're in the sidecar.
You'd still be having to wear a seatbelt, surely.
Well, do you have to wear a seatbelt? Because you don't wear a seatbelt on a motorbike.
Any other business next week?
I wouldn't say that's the main... Yeah, any other business next week. Let us know. I mean, the main point is no one uses a sidecar these days. It's Wallace and Gromit, and but they don't even use them anymore because one of the fat ladies has died.
Sadly, both the fat ladies have died.
Both the fat ladies have died. Do you want one more of them?
Yes, please.
So we've got loads of good ones. There's loads have come in. We'll keep it on the football theme. Got changed in the middle of a football game, surrounded by my team once halfway through a tournament at primary school. I imagine that's a really good thing for team spirit. You know when they do the huddle at the start of the game? That's just because Stephen Gerrard's getting changed.
Stephen, we're playing at home today. Why are you wearing the away kit?
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Josh Widdicombe, Saturday morning, XFM. And producer Neil, I've lost the ability to speak. I've also not asked you about Neil Aid yet this morning.
Well, I've had some
Neil
stickers.
Aid, for people listening. Come on, Neil.
Sorry.
Radio, let's reset the subject. You're trying to complete the Panini album, but you can't afford it because you've got a new baby girl. The fact it's a girl makes no difference. It's neither here nor there. I don't know why I emphasise that word.
It's a luxury that I don't want to invest in, but I'm happy for people
You
to...
say you don't want to invest in. I got a text off you yesterday
Yeah.
saying, this was on, I got a text off you on Bank Holiday Monday, in fact, saying, are you back already? Getting a bit addicted to the sticker album. Looked at discount bulk buying from eBay earlier. You've ruined me. I've got a surprise for you. You know my dad likes to contribute to the show.
Yeah.
He wrote in again this week.
Okay.
And this is a Neil Aid special from him.
Right, okay.
Josh, I've been doing some research on the current state of the online football sticker market, and I hope the listeners will find it interesting. You are gonna. I mean, you might know this. On eBay at present, the best price for a wholesale box of Panini 2012 World Cup stickers, 100 packs, 600 stickers, incorrect, it's 500 stickers, is £47.99.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you know that?
Tempted.
Do you want some trivia on that?
Yes, please.
I'm not sure if it's in the true spirit of sticker collecting to buy them in this way. And for the record, Costa Rican international Arsenal's Joel Campbell bought one of these boxes last week only to find his own sticker wasn't in it.
Oh, wow.
That, my friend, is research. That is the research of a man who's trying to fill the hole left by pigeon racing.
Very true. Well, I just want to give a big well done to Jessica, who sent in some swaps for me this week, which has filled...
Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah, it's filled my album. And she was also put, there'll probably be more as the weeks go by, which I'm very happy about.
If anyone has swaps, we're going to do this, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know the Bob Geldof thing. Don't go down to the pub tonight. Pick up the phone. Pick up the... If you have swaps, just 10 swaps, that's all it takes. If everyone sends in just 10 of their swaps, we don't want all your swaps. Just a few of them. Yeah, just for Neil, so that he can have an album that's complete for his daughter to one day own. Yeah?
Yes, please.
If you want to donate, the address is as follows. Neil Aid. If you hashtag it Neil Aid and hashtag any tweets about it, got need Panini, no. We're trying to get Panini to donate as well, aren't we?
A full album, hopefully.
Panini, if you're listening, donate stickers to Neil Aid. All you need to do is send them to XFM, Leicester Square, WC2H7LA. If you don't know, if you haven't listened to that, then it's in Neil's Twitter profile. It's his description of himself. Please donate.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
This is XFM on Saturday morning, and now on the Josh Widdicombe Show. Good morning, Mr. Nish Kumar and Nishipedia.
Good morning, or is it?
I think that best sums up what the catchphrase really means. I think you're really living the role now. What have you for us this week?
Oh, Josh, this is the Mac Daddy.
Is it?
So everyone knows one of the biggest conspiracy theories is whether moon landing's real. Right?
Yes.
So that's one of the biggest conspiracy theories.
classics.
It's the classics. But on Nishipedia, we like to go
It's
one
a
step
Bohemian
further.
Rhapsody of
Yeah.
conspiracy theories.
Yeah,
Although
absolutely.
it's good, unlike Bohemian Rhapsody. Right, anyway.
You really don't like Queen, do
hate
you?
them, rubbish.
Do you really hate Queen?
Novelty band.
Have you told John Robbins?
Yeah. Do you like them?
How can you not like Can Anybody Find Me Somebody to Love? That's a great song.
No. Don't
Not for
like
me.
novelty music. I've heard Brian May's a very nice man, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Well, they've
Anyway.
got some good stuff. I'm not Robbins level mad about them, but okay. Anyway, okay, Josh, this is the big one. A lot of people would talk about whether the moon landing's real, but on Nishipedia we like to go one step further. Is the moon fake?
Yes, that's exactly what we're going for. Made of cheese?
There is not even that, Josh. Made of cheese is a conspiracy theory propagated by Wallace and Gromit. This is one step further. This is a quote directly from the website that I'm getting this information from. The moon does not exist. As I realise this revelation may be shocking to the average reader, allow me to repeat it. The moon does not exist.
Is he the woman from Hello Hello? Oh no, she'd say it only once. But yeah.
So there are a group of people that genuinely believe that the moon has been faked.
Yeah.
And the evidence for this, one of their pieces of evidence for this is there's no mention of the moon in the English language before 1066. And my question for these people is, how much of the English language do you actually know about from before? Is it because there isn't a moon on the
So is it
Bayeux
launched?
Tapestry?
I mean, why was it... Whoa. So it was launched?
No, the moon is a hologram
What?
that's being projected into the sky.
Like Batman?
Yeah, basically like a pointless bat
What's
signal.
it achieved?
Absolutely nothing. There is absolutely no reason for this conspiracy, but I'll tell you what, this person takes it very seriously. This is the last line of the first paragraph of the website. A cash reward of $100,000 has been offered to anyone who could send us by email conclusive physical evidence of the existence of the moon. This reward remains unclaimed.
Do you think they've got like a poster in a Western saying wanted dead or alive?
And so this person has obviously seen, you see somebody, there's a natural tendency, one-upmanship's a natural human emotion.
It's the only evidence, the 1066 thing.
Yeah, and also the fact that the moon landings are fake, that the moon rocks could be any old rocks, nobody knows what they are, and the fact is that because nobody's been to the moon, basically this person has said there is no moon.
They have.
Now,
I think they have.
I've never been to Hove. I don't. So by this logic, I don't believe Hove exists.
Someone once brought you some rock, but you weren't sure if it was from Hove.
Yeah, exactly.
Just send it through the middle.
It could have been from. It's an excellent joke, Josh.
Thank you. So yeah, are you? Well, Neil,
I am. I'm lost and I wasn't paying attention, but I'm going to put this into Nishipedia anyway.
I think that's the best chance of conspiracy theories taking up. Thank you, Nish.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
That was the Lumineers on XFM. This is Josh Widdicombe, Saturday morning. Now joined. I'm very excited.
Good.
I'm
excited.
Good.
I am. I've got a voice that always sounds not excited.
Yeah.
And so when I say I'm excited, it sounds like I'm being sarcastic.
Yes, I'm glad. David Baddiel, by the way,
Yeah,
I should
it's me.
say.
Hello. I assume people would know
who's that
because of my voice.
sarcastic guy?
Yeah, that sounded a bit sarcastic when you said it. Yeah.
Yeah, but David Baddiel, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in.
That's all right.
You've had a bit of a... Oh, it's a kind of cliche, how was your journey? But actually...
I have had an eventful journey in. Well, it wasn't that eventful. I basically had a small car crash. No one was hurt. But an old lady, I hope she's not listening because that'll probably upset her. She's had quite a difficult start to her day already. And now I'm calling her an old lady. She may be in her late 50s. I don't know. But she reversed into me. And actually, I was honking my horn and saying, "Don't
so you
reverse
could
into
just
me."
see it slowly.
She was coming quite fast because otherwise I would have been able to reverse. But I said to her when I got out, I didn't have time to reverse. I had a thought actually that bleeping is not enough for those things. What it should be is a voice saying, "You're okay. You're okay. You get back to hit something. Hit something." That's what it should be because bleeping is not enough. I think.
Yeah, no, of course not.
Yeah.
There's a diagram as well where have you got the diagram?
Not in my car. Have you got a diagram?
Well, I haven't got a car.
diagram.
There's a
Have you got a car? You're asking me if I've got the diagram. You haven't even got a car.
I haven't even got a car, but
Right.
I've seen someone. I've driven with someone who's got the diagram. So
diagram?
it shows the back of your car.
Yeah, I think what you mean is a sort of film, photograph, not a diagram. No one's drawing it, are they? It's not a cartoon.
It's not filmed.
Right.
It's like a line outline. Have I imagined?
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, no, I have
and
seen
then
that.
you can see the walls coming
that is
towards
like
you.
a cartoon. Yeah. But I think that because also it's an interesting concept, isn't it? That beep, beep, beep means you're quite a long way from hitting something. Beep, 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 beep means you're really good at that. Beep essentially means you're flatlining into the wall. So and we've just accepted that about as a sound metaphor for distance. But who knows? It might confuse some people like that old
No,
lady.
exactly. If you weren't told, because old people are the kind of people that have their
Worldview very set, don't
they
they?
have their worldview, and also they have their tones on their phones still on.
Yes.
I remember we got not hands-free, the wireless phone in the house. That felt like living.
What do you
So
mean?
that
What, a
phone
speaker
with-
phone?
No, phone without the...
Oh, I see, like an actual landline phone that you can
Yeah.
move about in. I found the reception was always very poor with those. Yeah.
Not on Dartmore.
Really? Not on
Clean as
Dartmoor?
a-
Really?
We are going to talk about what you're on here to talk about.
Okay, all right, yeah. No,
Shall we-
fine.
yeah.
No, fine, whatever you want.
No, let's talk about...
We'll talk about other things.
Let's
if you
talk about
like.
Cornwall.
Actually, shall we talk... Actually, we can talk about Cornwall. Because you said to me, actually, this does take in my what I'm here to talk about, which is that... Because you were on in Edinburgh. Your show was brilliant.
Oh, thank you very much.
I loved your show.
that,
And I'll be
actually.
honest with you, I saw quite a lot of comedians in Edinburgh because I hadn't done stand-up comedy properly for a long time, and then I did it this year, and I'm still doing it. And I went to Edinburgh with this show, and one thing I did was go and see quite a lot of stand-up comedy. And I tell you, a lot of these podcasts that I did while I was up there, and interviews and whatever, they would say to me, and I think they were asking for a particular thing. What do you think about how comedy has changed since you did it? And I think they were after me to say, "Oh God, all these young comedians, they're all like from boy bands and whatever they've basically." And I don't think they are, but I have to say that if you look at the posters in Edinburgh of those blokes, quite a lot of them do have the hair gel that looks like they could be the slightly less attractive one in One Direction, don't they?
Yeah.
They do. Right? And I would say that you don't, and that's meant as a compliment.
Yeah.
And also, I did think that yours was the only show that I saw of the sort of comedians from a slightly younger generation I went and saw that I thought this is like a really funny bloke, as opposed to some really good comedians I saw, but sort of felt a little bit like they'd found their way into comedy because they were blokes who could have been in One Direction if they were a bit prettier and a bit younger.
Whereas I'm so far off.
You're so far off that. You were. I was happy. I was comfortable with you being a comedian.
Relieved I wouldn't have even made it to boot camp.
No way. Absolutely not. You'd have been. Simon Cowell would have had you out of there.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast. XFM.
So I teased the listener, didn't we?
We did. That you've got.
I've got a story about Cornwall. No, it's only because I've got a house in Cornwall, and Morwenna, who is my partner, she's from Cornwall. That's why we go to Cornwall quite a lot. But I did tell a story in my show, which is no longer in my show, about how when Russell Brand split up from Katy Perry, he actually came to sort of hide out in my house in Cornwall, and I tried to keep that quiet that he was there, but then I made a mistake, which was there is a Christmas Day swim in this village in Coverack. I'll tell you where it's Coverack, right?
Right.
And it's a tiny village. And he said, "Can I come and watch you and your kids go in the swim?"
So did you do the swim?
We did the swim. We do it every year, actually. But I didn't realise, because this was the first year, that this isn't just a tiny village. It's like the whole of the Lizard, which you all know is quite a big part of Cornwall, comes to this one village, and there's local press, and there's lots of women in bikinis that can stand next to Russell Brand and have their photo taken by local press. And like the next day, because of this mistake, this is partly what my show is about.
No news at Christmas as well.
No news at Christmas, yeah. Every tabloid in the world, because of this small error that I made, had a picture of Katy Perry in Hawaii juxtaposed with a picture of Russell Brand in Cornwall standing next to the wrong woman in a bikini, and that was kind of the end of their relationship because of this. Because I'd said, "Yeah, come on, be all right. There'll hardly be anyone there." So and
how
that's
does
partly
he
what
feel about that?
Well, I'm fine about it because it provided a good story for my show. But that's partly what the show is about. The show is about what a strange and weird and absurd thing it is to be famous, and in my case to have been famous at different levels of fame, and to be aware that your level of fame is fluctuating, and how that's a kind of ridiculous thing too to sort of worry about. But the show is, as you know, it is all about fame, but in a way that I think people seem to relate to and seem to like.
It's great because it's. I don't know if you set out to do this and said, "Well, fame's never been talked about in this way," but it's genuinely.
It's what my show's really about. It isn't actually in a way about fame. It's about the fact that if you are at all famous, you are slightly more visible than most people.
Yeah.
And just that leads you into all sorts of stupid situations. And it's the mundane reality of having to deal with that.
Yeah. It's interesting because I've the first kind of times I witnessed it, I went on tour supporting Alan Carr and then Stephen Merchant.
Yeah.
And people cannot believe that these people are in their town.
Yes, that is true. Actually,
then it's that thing of they'll come up to them and then they've got nothing really to say.
Yeah.
But it's almost just.
Well, the
this
story
kind
I tell about the bloke in Aldi car park. What happened was, I was in Helston, again, in Cornwall. Really, they've done lovely area of country. And I'm coming out of Aldi's, which is not actually a lovely area of Helston, right? I'm carrying 2 big bags of shopping, and he said to me, "Dave, what are you doing here?" Which is a strange question, because I've got 2 big bags of shopping, I'm coming out of Aldi's, clearly I'm shopping, right? But it's got that thing of like, what are you doing, sort of interrupting my idea of what happens in Aldi Helston by being a bloke off the telly, appearing in this space.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Are you okay? Because I haven't seen you on TV lately." Right? And as I say in the show, I said, "Well, I'm kind of writing now." I thought, why did I bother to do that? I had to make it okay. I'm writing now. I'm doing directing and blah, blah, blah. And, what did he expect me to say? I am a bit worried about my career at the moment. Can I talk to you about it here in Aldi's car park while my shopping turns to water? No, so but it's weird because you are called upon to have more conversations with strangers than most people are, because they recognise you. Yeah. And to some extent, they think they know you. So it's fair enough for them to have a chat with you. Yeah. But you don't know them.
But for the record, it's not.
What?
It's fair enough to come up to you.
Oh, no, it's totally... Yeah, it's not.
Just as a message.
Yeah.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Neil normally creates a game, but occasionally I have an idea for a game, and I think, well, we'd like to play that.
Okay.
Because I've been getting very excited about the World Cup.
Yeah.
Now, one of my favourite things about the World Cup is the mascots.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the mascots.
Okay.
Don't bring up any mascots.
No,
if you're
I
going
can tell that the game is about mascots. Yeah, I can see that.
I spent too long on holiday in Berlin setting up this game. I've got 5. You're going to do it in a penalty shootout style. I'm going to name the World Cup and give you 3 options of the mascot.
Okay, all right.
And then you have to choose.
Okay.
Would you like to go first or second?
Who are you aiming that at?
I don't mind.
I'll go first.
You'll go first.
Yeah.
I think the first one's the easiest one.
Good. Well, I'm already ahead. Okay.
So, and then the 5th one will have to be a decider.
Okay.
So these
You just give us the names, or you're going to describe them?
And just to make clear, the description, the real description is word for word what Wikipedia has described.
Oh, really?
for us.
Okay, all right.
And the other 2 have been written by me. So A, Italia 90. Is it A slice of pizza in an Italy kit with a face made of mushrooms called pizza? B, you are allowed to ask me questions.
No,
on
I know
this
it's
as well.
not that.
All right.
That's why I didn't say anything. I know it's not that.
Is it B, Il Butio? He's shaped like the boot of the Italian map. He was the world's first keepy-uppy record holder.
Okay, keep going.
Or is it C, Ciao? A stick figure with a football head and an Italian tricolour body of cubes.
Yeah, I know it's Chow, and I tell you what, I have an advantage there because on fantasy football, Chow came to the door.
Oh, God, I remember that.
And was a brief guest in the show, played by one of the runners.
That was just a war. That was an easy one. So that's 1-0. Neil, Spain 82.
I wasn't even born.
Well, here you go, Neil. You can
Okay.
ask the question. A, is it Naranjito, an orange wearing the host national kit? Orange is a typical Spanish fruit.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Is it B, Flamino, a flamenco dancer in football boots dressed in a green bin bag? Flamino helped support Spain 82's message of enjoying sport but also recycling.
I'm gonna rule that one out.
You're going to rule that one out?
Yeah, already.
It's rather beautifully done.
Or is it C, Tater, a potato bravas with a face?
Ah,
Are there any bonus points if you get it wrong?
Yeah, I'll hand it over. I'll hand it over, yeah.
I'm going to go with A just because it sounds the most serious.
Naranjito,
Okay.
the orange.
Well, has he got
It's
it?
correct, it's correct.
All right.
I'm glad he's correct. 'cause
You
if
looked at me like, do you want to come in for the bonus? But it's correct, so there is no bonus.
Do you want to just, say well done?
Well done, it's excellent. Yeah.
Thanks,
So
Dave.
1-1. 1-1, that's
all.
exciting.
Mexico 86. El Bandito. Is it A, El Bandito,
Yeah.
the footballing bandit?
Okay.
Seen as a sly dig at the high crime figures in the original host country of Colombia.
Oh, wow.
Is it B, El Prico, a football supporting cactus? Prico had to watch football as he couldn't play for fear of bursting the ball on a prickle.
Yeah, that can't be right. A cactus as a mascot. What kind of mascot? I know it's Mexican.
Yeah, it's
I'm with you, down with the Mexican, but a cactus. Was it in a pot?
Well, no,
Was it walking?
he had legs.
Oh, he had legs and eyes.
Yeah.
I can picture him now, yeah.
Or is it C, PK, spelt like Gerard Piqué,
Yeah.
a jalapeno pepper, characteristic of Mexican cuisine, with a moustache and wearing a sombrero?
That's like you thinking, I've done quite a lot of these. I'm bored. What's the obvious? I can go for Mexican, moustache, sombrero, jalapeno pepper. I've done it. I can go to bed.
The Holy Trinity.
Yeah, the Holy Trinity of Mexican signifiers. So
you're
I
going
think
with
it's
El-
either the cactus or what was the other one, the bandit? I'm going to go for the cactus.
Hand it over.
Oh.
I was going to go for the cactus as well.
No, so he's got an advantage now.
I think it might have been the jalapeno because they were just loving
correct.
the cliche.
Oh, you
2-1
see, it was a
up.
double bluff.
It was a double bluff.
How many more of these to go? Because I'll tell you something. If listeners aren't interested in World Cup mascots, you've lost them quite a long time ago.
Maybe we should play a song.
We'll play a song and then we'll come back for the final 2 decider.
Yeah, okay. That's still no good for the people who aren't interested in World Cup mascots.
And we'll talk more about Cornwall. This is XFM.
Josh Widdicombe podcast. XFM.
Chili Peppers, Aeroplane, that we've just seen.
That is seamless.
Seamless
Yeah.
from PK, the footballing jalapeno pepper of Mexico 86.
That's almost his theme song you played.
USA 94. There was
Yeah.
just in the middle of a game of which is the made-up football mascot. I've written 2.
And Neil Fern is 2-1 ahead.
Neil Fern is 2-1 ahead
in the
against
mascot
Baddiel.
shootout.
Yeah.
Oh, God, there's a lot of ground to make up.
Is it A, Striker, a dog which is a common US pet wearing a red, white and blue football uniform with the words USA 94 on it?
Yeah, I'm going to have to pick you up on the words a dog, which is a common US pet. Is that like the most redundant subclause ever said? I believe it's a common pet everywhere.
Yeah,
but
oh,
okay.
yeah.
All right, so that's
Yeah.
him.
Is it B, Thanks Goalie, the goalkeeping turkey?
No, it's not going to be that. It's definitely not going to be that.
Dressed in a kit designed by eccentric Mexican goalie Jorge Campos.
Yeah, I know Jorge Campos.
Yeah.
What did you call him? Thanks goalie?
Thanks goalie was pardoned on Thanksgiving by US President Bill Clinton and now keeps goal for Earth as they play matches in the Intergalactic Soccer League.
I suspect you've seen Freebirds.
C. Soccer Chief, a Native American who just can't get enough of his beloved soccer. He supports it, he plays it. He even works in the factory that makes the official ball of USA 94, the Adidas Bombero.
Is it a kind of sweatshop?
It might.
I think if it's a Native American working in a football factory, essentially he's on slave labour.
Yeah.
And he's a child.
Soccer Chief.
Yeah, soccer chief. Yeah, I'm going all out to support him in his labour and his dignity, but not as a World Cup mascot.
Not as a World Cup mascot.
No, I think it's striker.
You think it's striker, the common US pet?
Common US pet, stroke dog.
Stroke dog.
Yeah, I think it's him.
Correct.
Yay! I'm back in the
all.
game.
Right. Brazil 2014, this year. Fuleco. Fuleco.
Right, I'm glad you spelled it.
The three-banded armadillo, Fuleco, is a portmanteau of the words football and ecologia, meaning ecology. Is it B, Pele nut, a Brazil nut dressed in Pele's famous number 7 Brazil shirt?
Wow.
Also available on some merchandise are 10 other 1970 World Cup Brazil nuts to make up a full team. For example, Carlos Alberto nut.
Yeah. Okay. Tostão nut.
Tostão nut.
Yeah. Jorginho nut.
Felix nut.
Felix nut. Yeah. Felix was the keeper.
Yeah.
Or
is it C? We've had
C.
Pele nut and
Sandro,
Fuleco.
did you say?
Sandro. A grain of sand from the Copacabana beach, dressed as his hero. 1990 World Cup Brazil goalie Tafarel.
Wow.
Sandro will return to the beach after the World Cup to underline the message that sand should never be removed from this famous landmark.
I'm going to go for Sandro because it sounds...
It should be.
So it should be, and I don't know if that helps what you're saying there. That could be a bluff. But it's so specific that his hero is Tafarel, so I'm going to go for Sandro.
Neil?
None of them sound plausible, but A sounds more plausible than the Pele nuts, whatever El Bando, whatever it is.
Well, I've got 2 bits of good news for one of you. The first bit of good news is the game is finished.
Yeah, that's good news for everyone.
That's good news for everyone.
Yeah. God, it's good news for the people who fund XFM.
Richard Park upstairs.
Yeah.
And the good news is for Neil. It was Fuleco.
Oh, it was Fuleco.
It should be Sandro.
Sandro's bad. So you made that up about Tafarel?
Yeah.
Well, that's you really going specific.
I was really
you
thinking...
fooled me with your specificity. But when you said it should be the one,
yeah.
I actually started to doubt it. I so wanted the game to be over. I'm not changing now. It will just add another 4 minutes if I change now. So in a way, I took one for the team.
Yeah, in a way, you did.
Yeah.
But you still lost.
I've lost it.
Yeah,
well done, Neil. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was a pleasure playing.
You're through to what? Next week.
Next, sadly for you.
Yeah.
You can do the game next week now.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
That was Muse, Josh Widdicombe on XFM. We've had Dave Baddiel in for the last hour. Thank you for coming in.
I really enjoyed it.
It's been a pleasure.
Sorry, I'm coughing now. I know you're not meant to cough on the radio, but I was thinking to myself, mustn't cough, therefore I cough.
I sneezed on stage the other day for the first time.
That's weird.
Yeah.
What happened? Did the audience say bless you?
No one.
No one.
And I said, that's the first time I've sneezed on stage.
Yeah.
And no one really thought anything of it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, it's not an anecdote I should have repeated on national radio.
Except as a comedian, I am interested in
Yeah.
it. Because every so often, I think as you get used to doing comedy, the sort of extraordinariness that you're standing up in front of goes away.
Yeah.
So, like, recently I've noticed I get quite hungry on stage now.
Do you?
Yeah. Having, like, for ages thought, oh, God, I'm doing stand-up again. That's, like, filling my head. I'm now, doing it, and it's going quite well. That allowed me to sort of think, oh, no, I should have eaten a banana before I went on or something.
Did you know Rick Wakeman? I don't know if this is true or if this is like an urban myth, but when he was playing with Yes, they used to have like really long guitar solos.
Yeah.
And he'd which he wasn't involved in. He'd get a curry brought out.
No. What, from the keyboard?
Yeah,
like there's a microwave oven in the keyboard.
Someone would bring out a curry
Really?
for him.
And he'd eat it during the guitar solo. I hope that's true. It's very what you imagine Rick Wakeman might do.
Yeah.
It'd be terrible if he mistimed it. Like if the curry was slightly late arriving, and then like in the middle of a chicken korma, possibly with bits of grease on his hand. Steve Howe of Yes nods like it's your bit, Rick, and he's like he can't play it because he's got a chicken leg in his hand. He's on poppadoms. Yeah. Salty lassie. It's terrible.
Thank you for coming in. Obviously, your show Fame, not the musical.
Yeah, it's on at the Chocolate Factory.
Where
which
is
is a
that?
place and not a euphemism. It's the Many A Chocolate Factory is a theatre in Southwark near the Tate Gallery.
Right.
It's a Tate
Very
model.
nice.
Yeah, it is a really nice theatre actually.
What,
I'm doing it for a month.
A month?
Yeah, God,
Not
that's quite a
every
long time.
night, surely.
Yeah, virtually every night, apart from I think Mondays. Can't remember or
Having
Sundays.
a proper job.
I know, it is like having a proper job. Why am I doing that? The reason that I did this my whole life is not to have a proper job. And now well, just for a month, though.
Yeah,
so,
it's
you know,
fine.
I can make myself redundant at the end of that. But yeah, it's every night from the 29th of April till the 23rd of May.
Brilliant. It's a great show. I'm going to come watch it again.
Yeah, please come again.
I will definitely. I'll bring Neil Fern.
Yeah, Neil Fern. That would be good. Who is he again?
People won't be asking that after this goes out. Thank you very much, David Baddiel.
Cheers, Josh.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
Imagine Dragons, it's time. XFM with Josh Widdicombe now joined for the final hour. In a way, a show debutante, Roisin Conaty, hello.
Hello.
But you actually, when I was away a couple of weeks ago, you filled in with Ellis James.
I did, yeah.
If we swapped bodies for a day, what would you do?
Is this your immediate question? Well,
I'll
what's up, bodies? If we swap bodies for a
normally, I'd
day,
ask you what you'd be
I'd
up to.
walk round and be really aggressive to everyone.
Would you?
Yeah, just to
damage
see-
my name.
I'd damage your name just for a little bit, or I'd put you in some strange clothes, maybe. Stranger than what you've got on.
Yeah, well, obviously, I'm a very well dressed man.
What would you do if you were in my body?
A ski jump.
You know, I hate heights.
I don't know. I'm not really into. Oh my god, I might get a tattoo.
Oh, that'd be the worst.
Oh, that would be a really bad thing to do.
What would I do to you then?
Do you know what I'd get?
What?
I'd get a tattoo
Yeah,
of my face on your face.
that's so meta. I'd get your face plastic surgeried into your girlfriend's face.
Oh, that'd be weird. Oh, yes. That'd be really weird.
Yeah.
We're talking today about
Okay.
two things. You can offer it on either of them or neither. This
Okay.
is the. So we're a very kind of free and easy open house here.
Okay.
Number one, where's the strangest place you got changed?
I did that thing in the airport once where they said my case was too heavy. And so I took a
Put
political
on all
stand
the
and
clothes.
started dressing.
Did
Really
you?
enjoying it. Yeah, I was really like, bloody show you.
So how many clothes did you put on?
Quite a lot. I was.
You like Joey in that episode of Friends where he wears all Chandler's clothes.
a little bit, but I was in that sort of the area of time where you're not drunk or hungover. It's the middle bit, and it was so I was sort of like enjoying my protest. And by the time I was on the plane,
Sweating.
I realised I
You're
should have
out-
just paid the £30 for the case. But yeah,
I've never had that issue at an airport. People, you see people panicking. Well, we'll come to listeners' ones. Are you parents' hobbies?
well, my mum is a gambling addict, which is what she's.
In what sense?
She goes to bingo near enough every night.
Really?
Well, every second
She
or
must
third
have
night.
loved George Osborne's tax.
Oh, yeah, I think she. Yeah, I doubt she would have. I mean, I doubt
you
she
ever
even
been?
saw it. Yeah, I've been to bingo. It's really
What happens?
genuinely true. They I went there once at 3:00 in the afternoon, and people had their own noises because there's a lot of very, very old people.
People had their
It's
own
genuinely
noise.
true because it's such a big sprawling hall. First of all, they can't enforce a smoking ban. So people,
They're not?
They're so old. A lot of the people there are so old. So they're just like,
But there's
Margaret,
no point in them
you
not
can't
smoking.
smoke. And they go, when did that come in? And then they just keep smoking. And then, because they're really old and they keep thinking of one at bingo, a lot of them, they have to run over and just check their really quickly. So they've all got noises. So like at 3:00, I genuinely heard someone like, "Rah," and stuff like that. And my mum got really angry with me. She was like, you can't laugh. And I was like, it's
So what's your mum's noise?
my mum just says like check, but it's the old people have noises.
Oh, right.
They enjoy the noises. My mum just says check. Allegedly, I've never seen my mum win. She might have a noise.
Do they win big bucks?
Not really, because now it's all. That's the thing. It's really they're all they're all like little linked. So you could be in a big bingo hall with like 80 people, but you're linked to 40,000 bingo halls around the world.
really?
Yeah, so it's
There's
not
a
even
virtual
very,
bingo hall.
Yeah.
My because they have that online gambling now. My friend, well, not friend, I knew a guy I worked with. He used to play online poker, and what he'd do is he'd go on line at the time when the American pubs threw out, and then just completely rinse drunk Americans.
That's incredible.
He won like 26 grand one night.
Let's not condone it though.
It's not good.
But
It's
no,
not a good
For
thing.
the
It's
drunk
really...
you may be a drunk American, you're still a human being.
That is something we can live by.
We've all been drunk Americans.
I've got the feeling that that's something you shouted at a bouncer as he's ushering you out. I may be a drunk American, but I'm still a human being. Why am I wearing 6 cardigans? Just got off the plane, mate.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Queens of the Stone Age, Josh Widdicombe with producer Neil
Good morning.
and Roisin Conaty,
Hey.
who's just revealed off air on the weird thing your parents are into, weird hobbies your parents are into. Say the sentence you just said.
My mum once said, as like this, oh no, the things I really love are coats, horses and buttons.
All at one?
And exactly, we were
So,
like...
if you had a horse dressed as a pearly king, that would be a dream scenario.
That would be too much. That would blow her mind. That would be the end of the search.
So what does she mean?
She loves. So we asked her, and she started saying she loved buttons, and that's the main thing she was obsessed with as a girl. And then when she buys clothes, she's a bit of an obsessive buyer.
Hates Velcro.
Hates Velcro and zips. She really
Zips.
does.
Oh,
She loves buttons.
don't get me started on zips. Parents' hobbies. Abby. My dad is putting together a periodic table. You heard right. In our garage. He orders his elements on eBay. I mean, that's not a... Is she sure he's not a terrorist? So he's got a table, we're presuming, with all the elements. Like, that can't be...
Selling them on eBay.
Well, like...
Terrorists.
Terrorists.
There's basically, at some point in the transaction,
Retired
a
terrorists.
terrorist has to be involved.
Is that legal?
You're allowed to have your own periodic table, Josh. It's not just to look at our periodic tables. Never own one.
This is but a dream.
Yeah.
Do you want another hobby, or do you want a strange place to get changed?
Strange place to get changed.
This is from someone called Jazz Snow.
Unbelievable.
Amazing. One time I had to get changed in the gallows at an old prison on a school excursion.
That's pretty cool.
But the gallows is where you hang people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no need for you to get changed in the gallows. Surely that's the most visible area.
So you have the gallows, and then you have a trapdoor, don't you?
Oh, you get in the trap.
He went in the trapdoor!
Maybe he went underneath it because it's private there.
Oh, that's a very bleak place to go. You sure he didn't use like the noose to kind of help hang up his clothes while he was getting changed? That's...
Effectively, he's got changed there in a grave.
Yeah.
Call it what you want, but
Yeah,
it's a grave.
I've got changed in a grave. I've got changed for a wedding in the toilets of a train. And I've also had a shave in the toilets of a train. Is that all right?
That's dangerous.
Why is that dangerous?
It's quite rickety, so you could slip.
I've got quite hardy skin.
I mean, you'd want to have a hardy skinny, bouncy knife face game.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
This is Josh Widdicombe and XFM, bridging the gap between town and country.
Josh, ready to come on XFM? There's my dad's jingle as requested. What do you make of that,
I
Roisin?
loved it.
Yeah.
He sounds like a really kind. He sounds like a really kind man.
Yeah, he is a very kind man. He's made us a jingle.
It's a great jingle, and you are bridging the gap between town and country.
Constantly. You've always said that about me, haven't you?
I mean, I think you should have it on your poster.
Maybe that could be... All right, maybe that could... Bridging the gap between town and country. My dad.
And you could you could stand. You could have the visual of you if your legs stand wide apart, and one foot is in a field, and another foot is in
In a street. Now, it's time for Neil. We've got a charity appeal, Neil Aid. Now, Neil, it's very sad. He's got a new child, so it means he can't afford to collect the FIFA World Cup sticker album.
Oh no!
Now,
I could afford it. It's just an expenditure I believe to be unnecessary.
So, your face.
Everything I've ever bought is unnecessary, really.
That is the thing.
Yeah.
Now, so what we've done, we've appealed to the listeners to send in their swaps,
Amazing.
so he can complete the album without having to buy any stickers.
Ah, you're bridging the gap between town and country.
How's it going, Neil?
Stickers and sticker knots.
Yeah,
It's going all right. I mean, we had some from Jess that we mentioned earlier on, but it was more, I wanted Roisin's take on it because my wife saw me sitting at our table sticking them in, and I could see her physically find me more unattractive. Just, she looked at me, she went, ugh. And I'm thinking, is it a 30-year-old man and 30, yeah.
31, mate.
31. Just it's not the coolest thing in the world, is it?
I am not averse to it. I used to collect the Garbage Patch stickers and Barbie
What's
stickers.
Garbage Patch?
Is that what they're called?
What's garbage?
Cabbage Patch.
Cabbage Patch. Garbage Patch?
No, but they were the Garbage Patch. Cabbage Patch were the official, but the Garbage Patch stickers were the stickers.
They were like two stripe Adidas.
No, the Garbage Patch Kids, this is quite a big thing. The Garbage Patch was like Mad Donna and Madonna. So you had doubles. They were the same sticker, but they had different names.
I see.
And they were huge. You don't remember them in the
No.
That's like the gap between town and country. The garbage patch, the cabbage patch.
They were massive. Basically, I was really good. I started off with 3, and I ended up with 100 in the space of a day.
That's just buying stickers.
No, in school.
So what were you doing? Just sweet talking?
Pure negotiation.
Pure negotiation? How did you do that?
My dad's proudest day. When I got home, my dad was accused me of stealing 100 stickers, and I had to explain to him how it had all gone down.
How did you negotiate that?
Just great gab.
Great gab. Wow, so you could teach Neil a thing or two.
How many have you got?
I've got quite a lot. I've restricted myself to a maximum of 10 packets a day.
That's good. I like a little bit of rules in it. Otherwise,
Yeah,
because
because otherwise you could just be an adult and just go, well, I can afford to buy a box now.
Always wanted with Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. When she just buys them all. And then remember the one who ends up being fat. What's her name?
Salt.
That's it, yeah. When I see men in the shops buying loads, I think, oh, Fruka. We know how this ends.
Yeah, they're being crushed to death in a chocolate factory. Or however they die. Do they all die?
It's a pretty dark film.
Well, they're taken away and never seen again, aren't
Yeah.
they?
As good as dead.
Yeah.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
Joined? Still. No, in a good way. By Roisin Conaty.
You make me sound like that thing that wouldn't leave. Saturday Night Live sketch.
And Neil?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Producer Neil there, Neil Fern. Now, a couple of what we're calling weird hobbies your parents had. Do you want Callum MacDonald or Grace O'Connor first?
Grace O'Connor.
My mum puts batteries in the fridge.
Amazing.
I don't think that's a hobby.
No, but it's not logic either.
No, it's not.
No.
Is that? I wonder if there's a reasoning behind that. I mean, I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll find them, and that's the thing.
And
I
that's
think,
the thing.
Why not keep nail varnish in the fridge?
Do you?
Yeah,
Why?
just it keeps it thin.
Keeps it thin.
No globs.
Keep the batteries thin. You don't want any of that thick electricity.
This electricity is very lumpy today.
Getting loads. And my
Lumpy
TV's
legging.
really colourful and then it's a bit weak. And not that TVs run on batteries. Makes no sense. Callum MacDonald. My parents play doorknob, where you punch someone if they fart until they touch a doorknob, unless they say safety.
Amazing. Amazing. I'm definitely going to do that. Amazing.
Why wouldn't you just say safety rather than touching a doorknob?
Because, first of all, they're denying they farted, I imagine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you get a stomach shock, they'll be winded as well.
Oh, yeah. That is astonishing.
Isn't that brilliant?
One more?
One more.
Why don't we have one of the other ones for luck? Say goodbye. Yeah, this one raised more questions than it answered for me. Craig, due to my work, I have to get changed in phone boxes all the time. Unless he's Superman. Is he making a suit? He's not meaning to say that he'd be
He
called
is.
Clark.
It'd be called Clark. I like the way you're not having it.
Is he a street performer? Like one of those guys that paints themselves gold or silver?
Surely they do it before they get to work, although you never see one on the way to work.
No.
No, you don't. Only in Edinburgh, I was about to say you do. Then in Edinburgh, of course you do, but in
Yeah.
London, you don't know.
I mean, I say on the way to work, it's not a job. Pretending to be a statue, surely. I say that, this is my job. I think we've got to the bottom of this. Getting changed, parents' hobbies, I think that's more or less dealt with it this morning. But those topics do not need discussing again by anyone for the rest of time.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
All in white, the vaccines. It more or less brings us to the end of the show. Thank you for coming in, Roisin.
Oh, thank you for having me, Joshy.
Thank you for coming in, producer Neil.
Always here. Pleasure.
Always here. Always here.
Pleasure. I added on the end.
yeah.
Come on.
Now, Roisin, as a thank you for coming on, would you like to plug anything?
Yes, please.
Are you doing Edinburgh?
I'm not doing Edinburgh this year.
I bet you are really, really sad about that.
I am a little bit sad. I didn't do it last year, so it does feel like I'm being left behind at school. Like that sort of year, you feel like you're missing out. It's quite strange. You hate it when you're doing it, and then when you sort of can't, you sort of feel like, oh, what am I going to do?
Yeah. I know. Well, we'll see this. Yeah?
Are you doing it?
We're doing XFM live for 4 days.
Oh, amazing.
That's it.
That's perfect.
It's just a holiday.
What a...
We do need guests if you're around.
Yeah, I'm going to come up for like a day or two because everyone I know is going to be up there. I realised the whole month. I was like, I probably should go up for it.
Not as good a crowd this month. But anyway, I'm not there. You're not there.
No.
Pappies aren't there.
Aren't they?
Ellis isn't there.
Oh no, sod it. Not missing anything.
What do you want to plug?
I did my pilot was on Wednesday. It's called Game Face. It's on Channel 4. It's a pilot I wrote and I'm in, and it's on 4OD. So if anyone wants to watch that, have a look. And the Blaps, which are the original sort of versions of the pilot, are online on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, and your Twitter?
It's Roisin Conaty at Twitter. What's the deal? What are you asking me?
You don't know.
My Twitter handle is Roisin Conaty, I think, yeah.
What do I want to promote? Do I want to promote anything? Obviously, that Friends of the Earth gig, May the 8th. The other thing is what's the date today? 26th. So, tomorrow, I'm at Coventry Warwick Arts Centre. Got no idea if that's sold out. If it isn't, please come. 30th, Epsom Playhouse. First, I'm going to go see Frank Skinner. That's not really a plug. That's just me bragging. And then Friday is the Mahunkler Comedy Festival, which is the best festival.
I know. I was trying to do it this year, and I was booked in to do it, and then Paul McCaffrey's getting married, so I have to go to that. Not have to, but I'm going to that. Looking forward to going to that.
Awkward moments. The Mahunkler Comedy Festival. Loads of brilliant acts in the middle of Wales for a weekend, and even if you don't get to see any of them, it's just a good place to be. Neil?
Final plug for me, we've already mentioned him, if you've been listening all show, Dave Officer from Bell Percussion Limited. Yeah, that's right. Basically, we do a thing at the start of the show called Any Other Business, which is listeners' faults.
Well, we need a bell, but we lost our bell.
We lost our bell. So Dave put blah, 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 blah. Tasking myself with bringing glee back to those in distress, I've enclosed a set of tuned desk bells for you to use as a superior placement to your normal bell. My name's Dave. I'm writing to you from the comfort of the drum shop I now manage called Bell Percussion in West London. Obvious plug, blah, 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 blah. Hope they bring you lots of joy. Love the radio show. Dave.
Aww.
Do you want to have a look at our bells?
Oh, you got some cracking bells on you.
Do you want to play all 8 in order to say goodbye? If you get them in order while I wave goodbye, we are back next week. But coming up next is Matt Dyson.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.